Happy Sunday, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge. It's Sunday night. OU fall practice, OU fall camp has begun. Jen is back on here. Good to have you back, Jen. A lot of the usuals on here tonight on a very warm Sunday evening in Oklahoma. But things are heating up, not just in football, Jay, but also with other things. You got the Olympics that are going on. Great 100-meter final today. It was unbelievable, actually. Scotty Scheffler wins the gold.
Unbelievable. Hey, and by the way, the Olympics, one of the best things they did this year, in my opinion, and people you may disagree, Jeremy, but Snoop Dogg on the Olympics is outstanding.
I do disagree.
Oh, he is great. Him and Martha Stewart together, I think it's awesome TV, man. I think it's great.
I'll be honest with you. Haven't watched enough of the Olympics.
Oh, watching him today, just watching that equestrian horse stuff, he's outstanding. He is amazing, dude. I love him on this stuff.
It's all about the lean. It's all about the lean, Sooner fan.
Did you understand the ruling on that?
What about it?
Which I didn't know. It's not whatever crosses the line first. It has to be your torso.
It's chest and up.
Yeah, so I did not know that. So I learned
that's why it's all about the lean, Jay. What's up, Mike?
Legend, Mike.
What's up, John?
How are y'all tonight?
If you see the graphic, we decided to go with a couple of guys on the graphic, just FYI, that we think, at least I think, can be difference makers, and they're not players. They're coaches, and I think it's part that a lot of Sooner fans are curious to see the difference that these two guys can make in the win-loss column. Do they make a difference?
I mean, that's to be determined. We'll see. What's up, Scott? How are you? Hey, Mess. It's to be determined, I think, is the appropriate way to answer it. But do I think that will make a difference? Yes. And I think some of it is maybe even just in like with Zach Alley, I think a lot of it is maybe his attitude and maybe his, I don't know, personality a little bit different than Roof. I think might make a difference with the players, maybe on the field. I don't know. It'll be interesting, too, because he's not the guy that coaches from the box. So that's going to be very interesting. Roof is usually in the box. It sounds like Latrell will be in the box, like Levy. I think Latrell has a lot different personality than Jeff Levy, too.
Yeah, and Monty, I wish we could control it, but we can't, so our apologies. Colin loves to see Burks not have to slow down for the deep ball. I did see one highlight video clip of a pass down the middle of the field, down the seam, and it was just spot on money. Thing, Jay, go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say I agree with Sooner fan here. I think there'll be more of a difference with the defense and things than there will be offensively. I think there's going to be a lot of similarities offensively in the offense they ran. Personally.
Deadpool, huh? I haven't seen any of those.
I haven't either.
Mike says he said it before. He'll say it again. Roof needs to be reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" at an old folks' home. Or, look.
He has a great voice.
We talked about that last year. He did have has some great pipes. I did see, Sooner fan, Arnold dressing up as the ticket taker at the fan event, and a lot of people didn't even know who he was.
Can I say something to this? And this might start something tonight. But if that was Dylan Gabriel, everybody would have known who he was. Just saying.
What do you mean by that?
That's what I mean. I think it's because Jackson Arnold hasn't been in front of the camera, Jeremy. So I think a lot of people don't really know. I think most OU fans know, and I'm surprised more of them didn't stop him because I thought it was pretty obvious. But maybe as a casual fan, you wouldn't notice it.
They probably didn't show the ones that realized it, Jay. That's
probably true too.
You can. This day in media. You can kind of pick and choose what you show. Jay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We talk about Zach Alley and Seth Latrell and the difference they can make, and if they make a difference. And I honestly asking Surgeaholics this question. I'm asking you, Jay. Maybe Hunter knows the answer because I'm going to admit it right now. I don't know the answer to this.
That's first.
Did Kirby Smart win a national championship as a head coach when he was also calling the defense?
I don't think Kirby's ever called the defense.
Kirby Smart called the defense when he first went to Georgia, Jay.
I don't think he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm curious if he
look
won
it up.
one.
Look it up. Somebody will look it up for us. I want to get to something. You're 100% right. That's true, Michael. I agree with you there. Mess. I want to get to Mess.
Yeah.
I actually watched the Oklahoma Breakdown today, and I thought it was a great podcast. I really did. Some great stuff they put out there. They did mention this. Basically said, get it to Deion Burks. If you have to hand it to him, throw a jet sweep, do whatever you do to get the ball to Deion Burks. He's that electric and that good of a player. If you haven't listened to the podcast, I thought it was a great podcast. I really did. Some really cool stuff in there, I thought.
I have not seen it yet, Jay. I know you talked a lot about, you were on a call earlier talking about how kind of just foaming at the mouth they are about Danny Okoye.
Oh, yeah. They went on and on about Danny Okoye. It was great stuff. Teresa, thank you. Yeah, he's going to come on here a few times when we want him to. So we'll get him on for basketball season. But, yeah, he's doing great. Proud of him for doing that, doing good. So thank you.
Jen watched the breakdown. What's up, Chicken 1515? Bobby said he'd already relinquished that role as well. I just think it's interesting.
I don't know if he never had it. I thought he always relinquished it.
No, he called the defense at Georgia when he first went there, Jay.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that maybe there's some similarities there. It's difficult to do both, Jay. It's difficult.
Colin says rewatch it. Yeah, that was an impressive throw. Unbelievable throw.
Hunter said Mel Tucker called the defense in 2016. So there you go.
That's a name from them. Hey, by the way, I'm just going to talk about it now and get it out there. The Michigan stuff's wild. And they made a mistake, guys, in my opinion, hiring Sharon Moore. To me, with that whole Connor Stallion stuff, they should have just cleaned house. Because you got to know other coaches knew what was going on. Had to have.
Brian, what's up? I'm going to say Brian's comment here in the chat could be very spot on, Jay.
You're not wrong there.
Probably should have put him in the graphic too.
Yeah, Scott, he was amazing DC at Bama. Him and Lanning both. Unbelievable.
Yes. Well, the question wasn't, did Kirby Smart win a championship as a DC? We know he did. So did Brent Venables.
Yeah.
What Sooner kind fan, of punishment
will they get?
3-game suspension for Moore. Maybe worse for the team.
Yeah, we'll see. Dude, I actually just watched this before we came on the live. It was just on. I was thinking the same thing when he jumped. I was like, wow. Dude, all those guys to me, when they get ready to run, they walk out there, they look like they're about to just pop. They're muscles.
Jay.
Yeah.
I always tell my athletes, if you can do that, first off, it's good for you to do, but also the intimidation factor. I've taken some athletes to some freshmen to meet, and they see these seniors doing that. It's pretty intimidating.
Let me ask you this. Do you coach the 100?
Yeah, I've coached the 100 before.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I watched, I think the female 100 is Sha'Carri Richardson. Her start looked really bad. Even today, I didn't think that Lyles had a great start. He just killed it down the end, the stretch. But you get off to a bad start, you're done in that, right? For the most part.
Depends on who you are, but starts matter, Jay, significantly.
Yeah,
but you also can't false start. That's the thing. So it's difficult. Yeah, if they get a slap on the wrist, what they're basically saying is permission to cheat. Everybody.
Yeah. Hey, and I want to get to Sooner fan. If you've seen some of the stuff NBC's done with they show years past, same in swimming. The swimming races they're just tearing those times up. It's unbelievable.
What is up, Martin Diablo? Martin says the special teams are being overlooked. We will be in several tight games. And that's one reason I wanted these two guys on the graphic, but we also should have added the new special teams coach. And you're right, Martin. OU's lost close games in the past, and they missed some field goals. OU needs to be locked in on special teams. And, Jay, if Danny Okoye can do a flip on TikTok, you've seen his athleticism, he's got to be playing special teams.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't have a good start in the short race, yeah, URB. Mess says, Danny Coy, my new most imposing. Yeah. And he said they had some really good stuff on Danny Coy, if you haven't listened. And, we talked about him, how he's an athletic freak. He's a gym freak as far as weight room. When he figures out what's going on out there, he's going to be unbelievable. I think he already would be. To me, it's like unleash him and let him go. I mean, if he's that good, see what he can do out there, right?
Yeah. And look, probably the coach that hasn't been talked about is special teams Doug Deacon. No one's talked about him.
Probably
when was the last time? When was the last time OU had? Now I know last year Nunez or whatever. I'm just glad they're dedicating significant importance to the special teams. As Martin said, it's going to be a big deal. You've got to be good in the special teams, really, to win national championships. I think Doug Deacon has been top 30 every year in the last 5-6 years. Am I wrong on that, Hunter?
Yeah. Dominique was talked about a lot too. Here's the thing, an honest answer. I want an honest answer from the Surgeaholics here. Just be honest about it, okay? How many of y'all, before OU signed Dominic Williams, remember how good he was at TCU? Or did anybody even – just be honest.
They don't, Jay. I don't.
I think a lot of student fans would be that way. Like, yeah, I don't remember him at TCU. And obvious reasons why is you're not watching TCU all the time. That's one reason. And TCU's not hyped up a lot. It's not like he came from a school that you hear about all the time. But, one thing is he is going to solidify that defensive line. Now, I think the key, maybe the question going into the season is Jaden Jackson, David Stone, DeJohn Terry, Grayson Halton, Dominique Williams. Who starts out of those five? If I had to guess,
Terry and Dominique, Jay.
I would say Dominique and Terry, but I think Jaden Jackson's making a ploy to start. So
Mez remembers him. Bobby says he watched some after he transferred here. Hadn't really watched before that. And again, unless you're just a TCU fan, you probably don't.
Hey, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought you were done. Go ahead.
I'm good. You're good.
I was going to say that's actually something that Gabe and Teddy talked about. Was they said when you look at him on the field, Dominique Williams, just overall looking at him, you wouldn't think like he doesn't look that big, but he is monster strong. And then Terry's the guy they say you look at like wow.
You're right. Chicken 15-15. Breathing it's as important as anything. And I think maybe the best analogy that I've seen in a while is what Matt London says right here, Jay. The OU roster is moving from a butter knife to a Swiss Army knife. They have options. They have options everywhere.
Wow. Hey, Corey.
That's a great one, Matt.
That is. Hey, Corey. That's disappointing. And I would hope, I don't understand how it worked. I wasn't there, but that's a shame to have people come there and wait and not get to have people sign it.
I guess that means that there's a lot of people donating to the NIL collective, Jay.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that is a great comment by Matt. I like that. That's good, Corey. Glad that happened. Yeah, that's how it was for many years. I remember that.
Jay, let's talk about the edge position because I know you watched the breakdown. They talked about, you specifically said Ethan Downs and R. Mason Thomas likely as the starters.
But they didn't. Yeah, they didn't say who starters. But
okay, but so you've got those two guys are going to get significant minutes, significant snaps. I think Caden Woolard and PJ Adebawore are going to get significant snaps.
Yeah,
that's 4 guys. That leaves you with Danny Okoye at the 5th spot.
Well, you got Trace Ford. I know you don't want to hear that name. Hey, I know you don't want to hear the name, but you do have him there. So
he cannot play above those other 4. There is no way.
You mentioned 5th is what you mentioned.
Oh, according to everyone who's watched Danny Okoye, like I don't see where Trace Ford fits that, Jay.
Yeah, and Sooner fan, here's the thing. R. Mason Thomas, guys, you got to remember, R. Mason Thomas is going into his 3rd year.
I would rather have PJ starting.
Jeremy, you would rather what? You haven't seen anything happen. So I don't know how you're basing that on. What are you basing it on?
I'm basing it on 6'5" wingspan of a freaking giant. That's what I'm basing it on.
Base it off of, I'm basing on whatever the coach thinks on that.
5-star.
I get it. I don't think, listen.
5-star.
I don't think it's going to, you don't need to count them out. I don't think it's going to matter because I think they're going to play equal time. I think those 4 guys you mentioned are going to get a lot of snaps. Same with the
That's what Bobby says, yeah. And Jay, I just got a little upset because you said, what makes you want to play PJ more? Why do you want to play the 5-star?
First off, I don't talk like that, and I definitely don't talk that slow. So you maybe figure out how to do my impersonation. But I was just saying that I think they're going to play a lot of guys at those positions. Here's my biggest question would be like, because I think the goal, obviously, especially in a Brent Venables defense, they love to get guys in what? Obvious passing situations. So if you get a team in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, it's a passing down. Who are the guys you want rushing the passer? I think that's where you see some.
That's where I agree, Jay. That's where it changes because
and I think Dominic Williams is not in that situation. Probably.
Jay, I think that PJ Adebawore on passing situations is better than Downs and probably R. Mason Thomas both. So you could bring in maybe a Woolard and PJ on passing downs. Hey, Jimmy, I have forgotten about Ford. Sorry. I have.
Why?
Sling Blade. Great movie with Billy Bob Thornton.
That's an awful movie. That's funny, Mike.
I reckon.
Bet R. Mason. Can I get a prediction score for the OU Tennessee game from y'all? I know it's too early to do. I'm going to go ahead and say mine. I'll say my prediction. OU 38, Tennessee 21. That's my prediction. On August 4th or whatever this is.
Grimes is not on campus anymore, Tyler.
Hey, Sooner fan.
Where did he go, Jay? Where did he go?
Oh, he went to a smaller school. I disagree here, Sooner fan. I absolutely love Ethan Downs. Now, that is a low-scoring game, Ron. That would be.
We do know Tennessee has a great D-line. Grimes is at Memphis. Thanks, Greg God. The freshman is Danny Okoye, Tyler.
Yeah, here's the thing, though, about the Tennessee game. Why I got OU scoring so many points, too, is I think their quarterback, as a first SEC road game for him, it could be rough on him. I think Brent Venables have it dialed it up on him. So,
Colin, I don't think anything's changed. I think that'll be a wait and see. If they need a redshirt him,
no chance. Sorry.
I think they'll redshirt him if they
can.
No,
I don't.
Okay, I know you don't. You're disagreeing with me. That's fine.
And I don't think there's a chance at all that happens. But
there's no need to play him if you don't need him.
I just don't think
I don't understand your
Jeremy,
point.
I hate that rule of thought. I always hate it when people say that.
Okay, cool.
So you're saying if you don't need to play him, don't play him. And then you're in game 5 or 6 and Jackson Arnold goes down, then what are you going to do? Throw him out
pull the red shirt.
SEC
you pull
football?
the red shirt.
What?
You pull the red shirt at that point.
And he has no experience. I hate it. I don't think teams get their backup quarterbacks ready enough.
Well, first off, we don't know if him or Casey Thompson's the backup.
I agree with that, but Thompson's been injured so much, I think you have to have Hawkins ready. I think he's got to play. and get some reps. That's just my opinion.
I realize that you're speaking, so it's your opinion. I get it.
Okay.
You like to throw that phrase out, it's just my opinion. Well, yeah, you're speaking. I know what an opinion is.
Yeah, their pass defense is the worst part of their defense. It's bad. Hey, let me get to trivia real quick. Trivia tonight, sponsored by the FanStop. www.thefanstop.com. Check them out. Go sign up for the shirt of the month. You get 10% off if you use code SURGE. Also, just go buy merchandise. They got hoodies. They got jackets. They got all of it. Officially licensed gear. Check them out. The FanStop. Okay, here we go. Trivia for tonight. We were talking offense a little bit, but here's what I want to know is last year, how many consecutive games did Gavin Sawchuk have over 100 yards rushing? Should be pretty easy. How many consecutive games did Gavin Sawchuk rush for over 100 yards last season?
This will be a very quick answer.
I would think. And there it is. I think Monty tonight, 5. There it is. And guys, here's the crazy thing. It's really the only games he got a lot of carries. If you remember right, Tolly Walker was getting the carries. They pulled Tolly Walker and gave more of the carries to Gavin, and he kind of ended the season on the 5-game run of 100 yards or more. So there you go. 5. Good job, Monty. Way to go tonight. Hey, by the way, Kip Lewis is at 225 pounds.
That's huge. That is a huge
because that was the one thing people said about him is I don't know.
It's what I said about him.
Can he get the weight on? Can he put on the weight? And he's got it. Don't you think he's the fastest linebacker on the team?
I would guess he is, Jay. Bobby's question whether Monty got it before. Maybe Hunter can answer that.
On my screen, you got it first. Monty did. But.
Jen says she agrees with Teddy Lehman. If OU is comfortably ahead, play Hawkins. But if Arnold goes out in close games, then you go with Thompson and experience. See, I disagree with that. If OU is comfortably ahead, play Casey Thompson.
No,
don't waste Hawkins.
You got to play Hawkins, son, man. You got to play Hawkins, son.
Looks like Sooner fan thinks that Kanik is going to be the starter. Oh, no, he's saying Kanik is the fastest linebacker. He may be, Jay.
Could be.
Jaron is. Everyone's saying Kanik is.
Hey, we'll look it up, Bobby, but on my screen, I got Monty and then Selwyn and then you. But.
Tyler was talking about Nigel Smith, and I think Nigel Smith can come down middle, inside some too.
Yeah. I don't know how much. I'm wondering how much playing time he'll get this year.
He's not being talked about at all.
There's 2 questions I have defensively going into the season. Okay, because I think the back you kind of know who's going to play those positions. I'm still, and I think it'll be a kind of a rotation next to Danny Stutzman. I think you'll see a lot of Kip Lewis. I think you'll see other guys in there. I do. I think they'll play multiple guys in that role. I mean, don't you? I mean, I don't think it's going to be 2 guys, and I think you're going to see multiple. I don't know how you keep Kip Lewis off the field, though.
I don't think you keep him off, Jay. I think it's a position group. You can afford to play a lot of guys, and if you heard BV the other day, he said last year they had competitive depth, but there was definitely a drop-off from the first group to the second group. He said this year he can't really say there is one. That's huge.
That's big. Yep.
And I do agree that in the world of transfer portals and NIL deals, maybe you've got to stop using the term redshirt because guys might.
No, that's not it to me. The transfer portals.
Oh, it is to me.
It's not. You know what it is for me? Is you have Jackson Arnold, Michael Hawkins. You already have Kevin Sperry committed. Then you already got the quarterback committed for 2026. I mean, if they're bringing in a stud quarterback every year, what is the point of redshirting?
Jay, the point of redshirting
is get behind the 8 ball. You might never play it, OU.
The point of redshirting is you don't waste a year.
No, that's not the case anymore.
It is the case. That's the definition of it.
But what I'm saying is most of the times before, it was redshirting because they weren't ready. Am I wrong?
Back in the day.
That's not what a redshirt is for. If you're ready, why are you redshirting?
Because there's no reason to play you, Jay.
You think
you're in a position.
You think Michael Hawkins would be a 4-year starter at Oklahoma at quarterback? Come on. That's ridiculous.
Jay, you're in a position.
There's too many guys every year. They're not going to play 4 years at Oklahoma as a quarterback.
You're in a position at quarterback where you don't play multiple guys every game.
You don't play when the game's close, but when you have leads, play.
In the SEC, with the schedule OU has, can you name 5 games where it's going to be blowing people out of the water?
Jeremy, I don't care. I don't think there's a point to redshirt a quarterback anymore. I don't.
So if he plays 4 games, Jay, do you redshirt him?
I don't even call it a redshirt because he's not going to play 4 years at Oklahoma.
Jason, if he plays the first 4 games because they're killing people, and every game the rest of the year is close enough they can't pull Jackson Arnold, are you going to redshirt Michael Hawkins?
That's a dumb question. I'm not playing him if the games are close and Jackson Arnold's playing.
So you redshirt him. It's not a waste.
But that's not a true redshirt. You're saying just redshirt him no matter what.
We had this argument 2 months ago. I don't know why we're doing it again. You don't make sense.
I make plenty of sense. So thank you. Thank you, great God. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't get you. I'm not going to argue this again.
Mark says Kip has the it factor. How many 4-year quarterbacks do you know nowadays?
I've never said Michael Hawkins is going to play here for 4 years, dude.
So what's the point of the redshirt?
You're doing the favor for the player, Jason. If I play 4 games, listen, if I'm going to play 4 games and then 1 game at the very end of the year, the last game of the year, OU's blowing a team out. Timeout. OU's blowing a team out. If I'm the player, I'm not going in. I want my red shirt in case I transfer.
Listen, you're going off the point I'm trying to make. My thing was when you started this argument, it was a basic. Do you think they should try and redshirt it? That's not what I understand.
No, I'm not saying try. I'm saying if you don't need it, you don't.
I agree with you on if you only play 4 games, redshirt. Yeah, why would you waste a year if you haven't played that much? But I don't go into the year saying we're going to redshirt this guy. That's my only argument. Sorry.
Well, hey, just in case you're wondering, Jackson Arnold was going to be redshirted last year until BYU. Just so you know. They were redshirting Jackson Arnold last year. It's a fact.
Okay, let's move on. Man. No reason to keep arguing about it. No. What year is DG on? I don't know what year DG's on.
Cam Ward is on 7, according to Chicken 1515. You think he has a good year this year, Jay?
I think he's a good quarterback. Is he great? I don't know. I think he's good. Hey, I was talking to somebody today at church. And, we were actually talking about Nebraska. He's a big Nebraska fan. And I do think Nebraska is a team not to sleep on because I think Nebraska could get close to 9 wins, maybe. I mean, I think they're going to have a great year. But my thought was, let's take the 4 conferences: SEC, Big Ten, ACC, and Big 12. Who are your big-time sleepers out of those conferences, guys? And let me say mine real quick. I think in the Big Ten, I think there's 3 teams capable. Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Nebraska, I think are all capable to have a pretty good day.
Agreed.
Okay?
Agreed.
ACC, the sleeper I've already picked on to make the playoff is SMU.
Well, I think Greg God's got one too, Miami.
Okay? Big Ten, I already said that. SEC's tough for me.
I think it's LSU.
Would they be considered a sleeper?
They're ranked like 6th or 7th in the conference. Yes, they'd be a sleeper.
Okay.
They make the playoffs.
Big 12.
It's not going to be Colorado if you listen to Dion.
Big 12. Oklahoma's an SEC sleeper, they're saying. Is Kansas considered a sleeper or no?
Jay, from now until I die or 900 years, Kansas will always be a sleeper in football.
Well, probably so. Hey, what was I going to say?
Sooner Cowboys said OU is a sleeper, which actually they would be, I think. OU a sleeper, Jay?
I wouldn't consider them a sleeper.
Based on rankings, they would be.
I wouldn't consider them a sleeper.
What are you hitting, Jay?
My fan got turned off over here.
Excellent.
Sorry, guys. It's hot. It's hot, about 105 in this garage. Hey, there was something I was going to get to. Oh, it was the Colorado stuff. Did you see the Dion stuff?
It's ridiculous.
You can't hit a receiver in practice. I mean, they are going to be missing a lot of tackles, in my opinion. And you know what? Don't you think not hitting a receiver maybe leads to more injuries for the receivers down the road?
I don't know. It's Dion, dude. He's got his own way of doing things. And in my opinion, it's not going to work.
I mean, how many people picked OU 8th or 9th in the SEC? I don't know many picked them 8th or 9th.
Probably 6 through 8 is where most people have him, Jay.
That's a good one, Ron. Couple games last year, OU was a sleeper for sure.
It's correct.
It is. Arizona. Hey, Greg, that could be Teresa. I mean, I think they're going to be good. Sleeper, South Carolina. I actually got the opposite for South Carolina. I got South Carolina almost dead last.
Shane Beamer ain't it.
I got them right above Vanderbilt, and I agree. I don't know. I like Shane Beamer. I do. But when you hear him talk, sometimes it can come across as like I don't want to say fake, but like, man, I love the guy. I think he's great, but
not sure what you're trying to say.
I hope he's like trying to sell you something, or I don't know what it is. There's something I can't put my finger on it.
Mez, poor locker room leadership is something that I don't think they have an excuse for this year, because it sounds like the locker room leadership is stellar.
Hey, and it's funny because Greg, I'm disagreeing with you on South Carolina, and now that's why I'm putting them low, because I'm not sold on him. I mean, that's one of us going to be right. I don't know which one. You might be right, but
if they have a bad year this year, he's on the hot seat.
Guys, SEC coaches do not make it that long if you don't have good years. And they brought him in, and he hasn't really had a great year. So I definitely think if they have a bad year, he's on the hot seat. 100%. I think there's a few coaches in that way. And by the way, while we're talking about coaches in the SEC, Josh Heupel killing it recruiting quarterbacks. Absolutely killing on the quarterback trail. If they get good defensively, they're going to be a force for years to come. I think with the way he's recruiting quarterbacks, I just do. There's a few coaches. I mean, you look at it. I mean, definitely Sam Pittman. I mean, he can embrace the hog all he wants, but he's on the hot seat. I mean, go ahead.
I'll tell you one that's not on the hot seat, even if they are mid this year.
Where?
Mark Stoops.
Yeah, but they could be in trouble with a little bit of stuff, it looks like. Hey, Jimmy, he will 1,000% be fired if they don't have a good year. And that defensive guy they got is recruiting out of this world. And that guy's recruiting good. There it is, Bobby. Or not Bobby, but somebody's put it in earlier. Speaking.
Yeah, Rattler may be the starter, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Scott. Scott, they have been – their defensive line, in my opinion, I mean, I've looked at some preseason rankings and listened to a lot of SEC guys. A lot of people put in Tennessee defensive line as the best in the SEC. So, yeah, Heupel's tearing it up right now. So,
Trap House.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have him picked as low as a lot of people. I think I picked him 4th from the bottom. I don't have him picked near
I'm not sold on offense, though.
Well, the quarterback, Grant, he could be really good. It's just hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
Scott, what I love about
Norman? Scott, are you coming to Norman for the game?
Scott, what I love about having Tennessee as the first SEC game and at home is it may be, and I think I can say this pretty confidently, It may be the toughest challenge for OU's offensive line, and it comes early. So I think OU fans are going to know what this line is about after they face Tennessee's stout defensive line.
Yeah. And Bobby, Petrino will have a good offense. Here's the thing, though. And this is why I think a lot of people that picked Arkansas really, really low, their schedule's not as bad as it's been recent. I mean, they always had a bad schedule. I mean, a really hard schedule. They have a hard schedule, but I don't know if they have Texas or Oklahoma. I may be wrong on that, but I don't know if they play either of them.
I thought everyone had Texas.
Maybe they play Texas. Yeah, that's right, Trap House. Call them out, Trap House. Get them. Make sure you hit the like button, people.
Yeah, Hunter. Everyone plays OU or Texas,
okay, my
one
bad.
or the other.
But their schedule is not as hard as it could have been, really.
Hey, big shout out to the Fan Stop. Again, check them out at thefanstop.com. They are the ones that are giving us this chance to give away the OU Houston tickets, end zone seats, very low towards the field. And right now, I don't know who's got their name most on the wheel. I think it's Bobby, but Monty Ward tonight got the trivia question, so his name will be added to that wheel.
We're going to go back to replay it later on, but I think
August 16th is when that will be announced. We'll spin the wheel, and you'll see who wins the tickets. It's coming up around the corner, and you're right, John. Hitting the like helps our channel as much as anything, and we appreciate it.
And also, salute Matt for saying, Trap House the best. He's awesome. Hey, couple things. I just want everybody to know we're ramping up. I'm telling you, when football season gets here, we're working on some things. They're going to be really cool for the weeks of the games. So, and recap of the game, some really cool stuff coming. You're going to want to be subscribed. You're going to want to follow because it's something we've never done, and it'll be every week, and it should be a blast. So make sure you're tuned in. Promise you won't want to miss it.
I haven't given my update, Jay.
On your Fasusi update?
My Fasusi update.
Let me guess. It went from 58 to 59%.
That's exactly right. It started at 48% a few weeks ago, got over 50%, and now it seems to be going up in increments. I'm at 59%. OU lands a 5-star Fasusi.
What about Babaloa? Any chance?
I'm saying that I've always said there's always a chance, Jay.
It's like that line from Dumb and Dumber. You're saying,
and then what are people going to say when OU lands 2 of them? You just never know with recruiting, Jay. You just never know.
That's true. You never know. You never know. That's right. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Hey.
Greg God's up to 35%. Greg God, I don't know what number you started on, but if you're going up, it's in the right direction.
That's way up for Greg God, isn't it? It was 33, I think.
Hey, and big shout out to Trap House. People need to check out the stuff that Trap House does. It is top notch. It's freaking amazing. Great stuff. That's right, Selwyn. Jay, what do you think on Fasusi?
I told you I'm staying 55, and I'm not changing until the day he signs.
August 21st is that day.
What?
That's August 21st. Jimmy says 74%, Jay.
He's way up there, man. Mess is at 100%, right?
12-0 and 100%. Our first show, Iowa Sooner, was
end of last football season, wasn't it?
Near the end of the season last year. We started doing some post-game lives, and we've been going. Really, it was in November, I think. We've been kicking strong, trying to every single night. And that's what our goal is because we like to provide content every single night and keep it consistent. We've been able to do it through all this off season because you guys always bring stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and it's fun. Bobby's at 34. He's up a percentage. Hey, and appreciate you guys who have been here from the beginning. A lot of y'all been here since day one, so it means a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah. Mike's got a birthday next month. Bob says Fasusi will be a Sooner. There you go. It's a good way to end it. Let's end on a positive note, Bob.
And as Oklahoma Breakdown said, Jay, you talked to me earlier about this with Anderson, Gibson on the outside, Burks Sharp inside. OU looks SEC ready. And listen, we'll say it again before we get off here. Anyone that thinks this Oklahoma defense is not going to be able to make strides with everyone back, new coordinator in town, BV's third season under his belt. Guys, I don't know what you're watching. This defense can be elite. They're talking like they want to be number one in the nation. It can happen. It can happen.
That's right. It can, but will it? That's what we'll find out soon. Be here before you know it, baby.
Hey, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Sooner Nation, this is one of their latest ones. It's amazing. If you do sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club, email us at ousportsroundup@gmail.com, and we will get your name 7 times on the wheel for the OU Houston ticket giveaway.
That's right. Get on the membership and Discord too. It's in the description of this video. Click on it. Appreciate you guys as always. Thanks for joining. We'll be back tomorrow night, Monday night, 9:30. See you then. Have a great Monday.